Roz Granley family. So today I just wanted to discuss two specific things that I've been working on, and two things that I feel that we tend to overlook on this momentous Monday. I felt it important that we talk about and discuss the importance of setting boundaries and managing expectations. Now, when I talk about setting boundaries, and when most people speak upon setting boundaries, nowadays we're talking about what we're going to allow people to do, what we're going to allow people to say, how we're going to allow people to affect our lives. And those parts of setting boundaries are very important. However, for me, one of the things that I've been working on is setting boundaries for myself. Not allowing myself to say certain things, not allowing myself to digest certain things, not allowing myself to react to certain things, because we're not in control of anyone else but ourselves. We cannot hold anyone else accountable but ourselves. We can hold each other responsible. However, accountability is something only we can do for ourselves. And before we can even begin to hold each other responsible, or one another responsible, we have to first understand how to hold ourselves accountable. So many things in the news is he said, she said, this, that, and the other. This is the reason why it is. When something is happening to me, or I feel that something is unjust, the first thing that I do personally is take personal inventory of my thoughts, my actions, my words, and my intent. That's very important, because we like to fool ourselves into believing that we are the victim consistently. And there are times where we are the victim. However, we misconstrue victimhood for being the victimizer. We can be our own victimizer at times by allowing ourselves to indulge in certain things, to not be against what we say we don't want in our lives. If we don't want someone to be something in our lives, why do we consistently allow ourselves to be that thing in other people's lives? It's like when you're driving, you know you don't want anyone to cut you off, right? So why do we consistently think it's okay to cut other people off? What you give, you will get. So it's important that we adhere to that fact, not just in words, but through actions, through thoughts. Really become disciplined in checking your thoughts, setting certain boundaries, having certain disciplines, learning to control your urges, learning to recognize your urges before you can do anything. Recognition is key. And it's about progression, not perfection, Just a little bit more each day. You'll be amazed at where you come out on the other side. So setting boundaries for ourselves and setting boundaries for others as an example of setting a guideline for other people to follow. Whether you recognize it or not, people's interaction with you is a direct response to how you respond to yourself and your energy. The energy that you carry dictates how people are going to respond to you in most instances. This is not every day that if you carry a great vibration and a great energy about you, that you're going to have people always liking you. Some people are just not going to like you. And sometimes we have to take ourselves out of it and understand that some people don't like themselves. So no matter what we do, no matter what we say, no matter what we think, where, look, how we look, it's not going to matter. And sometimes we have to stop being so self-centered and stop thinking it's all about us. Some things have nothing to do with you. I repeat that. Sometimes someone having a bad day and doing something foul to you does not have anything to do with you. Sometimes somebody saying something negative to you has nothing to do with you. Now, you also have to recognize your triggers and understand what it is that you can digest and what it is that you cannot digest. And make that crystal clear as best as you can with your body language, with your words, with your actions. You can't say certain things and then live a completely different way in opposition of what you talk about. You can't talk about things that you don't think. And you can do whatever you want to do. However, you're always going to have that internal strife because you're not doing the right things for the right reasons. So it's important to set those boundaries. Set those boundaries for yourself so you can begin to set the boundaries for other people around you, your loved ones, your husband. So you can let him know that you don't have more to give than what you are already giving. This is what I have. So you could tell yourself, I'm not going to give more of myself than what I have to give. Understand and recognize when you're giving certain things to individuals that have nothing to give you, or refuse to even attempt to give you anything. We have to be there for one another, but most important, we have to be there for ourselves first. As a society, we are so concerned and so consumed with what people are doing for us, how they're doing it, what they're not doing, how they care about us, how they mistreat us, how they don't love us. And we are not concerned about how we treat ourselves, what we think about ourselves, how we love ourselves. People view you based on how you view yourself. And that is a universal fact. Individuals that come into your life, that come into your journey, is a direct reflection of where your life is headed or has been headed. So it's important to take stock of what we are doing, what we are thinking, what we're saying, what we are digesting. It matters. And then managing expectations. That's important to me because I'm pretty sure most people are like me in this aspect where I'm pretty ambitious and I think I could do anything and everything. And half of that statement is true. But I can't do it all by myself, and I can't do it all at one time. And I'm learning that managing my expectations of myself is a big key in becoming wise and making wise decisions. I have to be okay with taking a step back to take a step forward sometimes. And realizing in internalizing that what I am doing, I am supposed to be doing. What has happened was supposed to happen and is supposed to happen because it happened the way that it happened. If anything in my life had went differently, I would not be the man I am today. I would not think the way that I think. I would not talk the way that I talk. I would not live the way that I live, and I am thankful. Not just for the good experiences, but just life in general. There's certain situations that I've experienced that I just thought would break me. As I'm sure you guys listening feel the same way. It may be going through a situation right now. But I'm telling you, it won't break you. It won't break you because it cannot break you. Because you are unbreakable. And you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at what you've already experienced. Most of us are living life right now. And we're so focused on what's the next thing. Not realizing that at some point in our lives, the lives that we're living right now was a dream for us. My life now was a dream for me 5 years ago. It was something that I deemed unattainable. And as soon as I attained it, I wanted to formulate another unattainable goal. And that by itself is not an unhealthy thing. But when you leave it unchecked and you're not realizing and internalizing and enjoying the journey that it took you to get to where you are and where you came from, and you're not allowing it to keep you humble. Sometimes I wanted to say we're so focused on the destination, but most of us are not even focused on the destination because we don't know where we want to be. What's the reason that you're doing what you're doing? What's the reason that you get up every day? What's the reason that you continue to fight and push and claw your way every day? What's that reason? What would be enough? What is good enough? Most of us don't know. And that's the first step. At least that has been for me. It's really looking inside of the reasons of why I want to be who I want to be, what type of man I want to be, what type of legacy I want to leave, what type of individuals I want around me. I want individuals that set realistic expectations. So therefore I become an individual that sets realistic expectations. What I want, I become. I internalize. I model myself and my behavior, my thoughts, after what I feel I would want people around me to be. I'm working on being less judgmental of other people, other people's behaviors. Because guess what? I don't have the time nor the luxury to judge anyone else's faults. I have my own to worry about. I have my own things that I have neglected, that I continue to neglect, and maybe will always neglect. And I have to pay attention to those things, as we all do. So on this momentous Monday, I want you to look inside of yourself. And I want you to be real with yourself. I want you to have self-talk. I want you to set some type of boundary for yourself. One thing that you will not allow yourself to do, whether it is not allow yourself to curse today, not allow yourself to drink more than 2 cups of coffee today. Set some type of boundary for yourself. For the fellas, I will not stare at a woman's butt more than 5 seconds. Set some type of boundary. Any boundary. I won't use a curse word. In 20 minutes. A realistic expectation. See, because what we tend to do is we set these things upon ourselves that are unrealistic, and we fail. We set ourselves up to fail, and then we feel bad about the failure. But the expectation that we placed upon ourselves and that we allowed other people to place upon us wasn't based in reality in the first place. Not a reality for us. Not at that specific time. It's about progression, not perfection. Light and love. Momentous Monday. And love is all around you.